y'all. Greetings. Welcome to another episode of Brown.Girls.Are.Beautiful. Right now, as you can see, I'm in the classroom. So, there's no one in here but me. The children are at farming. So, this week's class, they have EOGs in the grade testing. So, I'm actually here substituting this week, helping out another teacher. She has such an organized classroom. Her classroom is so nicely organized, as you can clearly see. Look at all the beautiful things that she has in here. She's so just very organized. So I'm just going to show you some stuff in here. If you want to take a look around, you can. Um, I'm using my phone to capture this, so I hope everything comes out clearly. Looks like everything looks good so far. She puts a lot of thought into even look at how she writes. So neat. She's a third grade. This is third grade, by the way. So they're getting ready for the end of grade test. And primarily, they're focused heavily on reading comprehension and math. So this will determine more than likely if they get to go to fourth grade next year. And I just love, most people put like a little piece of paper right there, but she has like an actual little mini curtain. This is their emergency bag that we're supposed to take for recess. Um, this the school safety folder right there. So whenever they have like a drill or like a emergency, I think we've got to take the folder out, and she has it right by the door so we don't forget it. Um, the children have already been trained on what to do in case of an emergency. If it's a fire drill or if it's a lockdown, there's a difference. Okay. So I'm not going to get into the details of that, but they know. I love this clock right here. I don't know where she found this, but it is cute. So I just love these classrooms, y'all. This is the Promethean board. So when we turn it on, push that. And then she gave me the code to get in here. So I think that should come on in a second. There it is. So I got to switch it back over. They have codes to get into what they need. Today is May the 6th. Yesterday was Cinco de Mayo, the 5th of May. She made me a gift basket. It is the cutest little thing. And she spelled my name wrong, but that's okay. So she told me that I could have all of that. And I got water, y'all. So I have 4 bottles of water that I can take with me. She said if I don't use everything in the basket, I could take it with me. This is her desk. I don't sit here. Um, I don't really want to mess with anything on her desk because it's so neatly done. But I sit over here at this table. But I just wanted to show y'all. I just thought when I walked in her room, it was just so well organized. And so I really appreciate the teachers and all that they do. I wanted to say that. Um, oh, almost dropped the phone. I just want to say I really do appreciate the teachers for all that they do. If you're not recognized, I do recognize, even though I do real estate. They also have some games over here. I don't know if you can see. I'll turn it around. So they have Scrabble, which is a really good game. Consonants, they have bingo, word games. These are really neat, y'all. Um, really good stuff. So today, yesterday they had media, so they had to take their library books and trade them in. And they actually had like a little mini book fair because they got 5 free books a piece. I think every student is getting like 5 free books a piece because they said they had 5,000 books donated to the school, which is amazing. That is absolutely wonderful. Um, they are having some challenges on their test scores, like as far as like their practice test. It's not a real test, but they're having some challenges. So this week we're trying to really hone in on having them to, read and go over what they read, understand what they read. We're talking about the main idea or the gist of the story, the characters, uh, the traits of the characters. Y'all. Then I'm still coughing up stuff. And this has been like 4 weeks ago. It's crazy. So I just wanted to say I really appreciate the teachers and all that you do. It is very challenging. A lot of these children here are Spanish speakers, so English is not their native language. They're still learning how to read, write, and, you know, speak the language, understand the language. So it's a lot for them. Um, some of the English speakers, they are struggling as well. So I've been asking them, what can we do differently to get your test, get your score to go up the next day? Because we're doing this every single day this week. And then I asked them yesterday, is there anything that I can do to help them, if it's something they're not understanding, because there's clearly a disconnect somewhere, because the students, some of them are doing very well in class, but then when it's time for them to take the practice test, and I think it's might be only 5 questions. They have to read a passage and answer 5 questions. They're not getting the best scores. So we did have one to get 100 yesterday, and then a couple of people got 80s today. And then I think they said 60 is still passing, but I let them know y'all need to really push and try to get your scores up every single day. So if you get, a 40 tomorrow, try to make it a 60 and keep going up. And then I'm also encouraging them to read at home. So hopefully some of this stuff helps. But anyway, I just wanted to say, y'all, all the teachers out there, thank you so much for what you do. Let's walk over to the writing checklist. And this is some things that I've noticed that they're not doing. This is their schedule, y'all. So right now they're at, like I said, they're at farming, but that's their schedule right there. She has a lot of good things in this room. Over here, it says I. So ending, the punctuation, um, capitalizing the word I. I've made sure I went over that with them. Spelling the words correctly, use good handwriting, um, capital letters, all of these things, we just need to keep honing in. So if you are a parent and you have a child at home that is learning how to read, write, still learning how to do paragraphs, please go over these things with them. Go over their handwriting, because a lot of them are writing like kindergartners, and I will let them know they need to practice. I don't know what's going on at home, but I think more parents, y'all need to go over reading with your children, go over writing, and then go over comprehension as well. So, being a parent is not just dropping your child off at school, making sure they get to school, but it's also making sure they have the proper resources. Pencils are a big thing in this class. So, pencils are only $1 at the dollar store. Parents, make sure your child has pencils. If you can buy everything else, Jordans, weave, lashes, nails, um, weed, beer, all things that are not necessary, then you can buy resources for your children. It's really not the teacher's job to make sure that your child has the proper school supplies. That's the parent's job. But these teachers are making sure they have pencils every day, bringing, tissues here, notebook paper. That really is the responsibility of the parent. I just had to say that because it's kind of ridiculous. And they'll sit there and not do their work and stare at you like a deer in headlights. And you're like, why are you not writing? Oh, I need a pencil. I don't have a pencil. You've been in school for 3 or 4 hours. How do you not have a pencil? It's craziness. But anyway, y'all, I'm going to sign out, and I'll talk to y'all later.